Oh, how it's good to be back. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming to join me here on another episode of Armchair Reviews. My name is Chris Godden. Holy shit, it's been a while. Good God, it's been about a month since we last had a conversation. What's been going on with me? I've been all over the place. Shit, I took a big step in the work field. As some of you may have been following myself on the Instagram at Christopher Gods, by the way. It's been quite a trip. I'm doing some work training down here in Quebec, but I actually drove all across Canada. I left Yellowknife, I think March 1st, and took about 6 days, I think, for the drive down here. I went all the way from Yellowknife to Edmonton to Calgary, Calgary to Regina, Regina to Thunder Bay, and then Thunder Bay to Ottawa for a weekend before coming into Quebec to start this training. It was crazy. So I've been very, very busy. Big changes for me. James is still back up in Yellowknife for all you loyal listeners. And I don't know if I'm going to be going back to Yellowknife, to be honest with you. This new employment of mine will most likely put me anywhere in Canada. It's a good chance of that. So we'll see. But I have all this equipment with me. I brought it with me because I want to keep this puppy going. It's my baby. Got to keep it going. So I finally have time here. Let's get right to it, guys. Shit, I've been watching a couple things here and there, but I just haven't had time to actually press the record button. I'm going to be doing this one by myself. Hopefully I can get some people on here as guests moving forward. Maybe Rob Carl. I think he was on a couple episodes before, and maybe some new future coworkers of mine as well will join me here. But that being said, let's get up to what I've been watching recently. Now, normally what I do is I do this shit at the end. I usually talk about like, oh, what are we going to watch? What have I been watching? But there's been two bigger movies that I've gone to see within the past 3 weeks or so that were quite big for when they came out, but just didn't match up with times for me to actually go out and press record, set all this shit up and get going. But I'll do a quick little synopsis here. I went to see the first one that was out a while ago, Alita Battle Angel. That was kind of just a whim to go see it. I just, what am I going to do today? I have time. Fuck it. I'll go see a movie. And Alita Battle Angel, I didn't really give a shit about it. Like it just looked like one of those movies that like, it looks kind of fun. I'll go watch it. I have no idea what it's about. It's from manga, like Japanese manga, whatever. It's popular shit. And I honestly thought the movie was going to bomb. I thought the trailers made it look like just silly, but I couldn't tell which kind of silly was it. Is it going to be good, fun, silly? Or is it going to be just absolutely ridiculous dog shit, just heated up in a microwave? I couldn't tell. So I was like, you know what? I'll go for a matinee. It's going to be cheap as shit, whatever. I actually didn't mind it. I'm going to preface that with saying that it's not great, but I can see how it was massively successful. It made all the money. I don't have the facts with me right now, and Wi-Fi here where I'm staying has been down for about 2 weeks. I've been here for 2 weeks. It's been down for 2 weeks. Maybe you can get on for 5 minutes here and there, but all I know for sure is that the data charges for everyone here is going to go through the fucking roof. But that's neither here nor there for right now. But it made all the money. Alita Battle Angel. The effects were cool. The action scenes were probably the best part of it. Yeah, it was just fun. The story is stupid. I couldn't give a shit. And the twist at the end with Edward Norton, don't care. Spoilers. Guys, this is 54 episodes in now. You got to know that there's going to be spoilers all over the place, okay? I'll be getting into that later with our feature, which I'll come back to in a minute here. But it was just entertaining. It's one of those movies where you can just put on, you don't really have to give a shit about the plot. It's just, what is it? It's like rollerball, murder ball, or whatever the fuck it's called. Those scenes are kind of cool, but anyway, the effects are cool. Action is cool. Story's dog shit. Did I have a good time? Kind of. I mean, my expectations were like subterranean low level of low, right? I didn't give a crap, but I had a good time, and I can see this one being like getting on Netflix or something sometime soon. And yeah, it's just one of those, just turn it on in the background. You don't have to really pay attention to it, but you can still enjoy it. Next, moving on. I didn't really want to talk about that one too much, but Captain Marvel. That was huge. Came out on International Women's Day. My buddies and I think I came back the night before, but we were there on Friday, the opening day. We went to go see it, and it was okay. It was just fine. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Was I expecting a little bit more from it? Probably, just because of the way Marvel's running their ship now. The action was fine, but I feel like they were a little bit missing compared to other Marvel movies. Again, this is an origin movie, so I might just be that I'm just getting sick of these origin movies, and I like superhero movies. No, and I'm not saying this one's bad, but it kind of felt like I did enjoy a little bit more than Ant-Man, although I really like Ant-Man because Paul Rudd, I'm a big Paul Rudd fan. He kind of carries that performance really well. And Brie Larson, she's awesome in this. I really enjoyed it. The whole twist with her mentor being the actual bad guy, and I didn't mind that. I knew it was coming. Like, you don't need to be a genius to see that one coming from a mile away, and especially like all these toys, like the Funko Pops and all that shit, even like Lego sets. I try to avoid like going on all these like comic books, movie sites, and updates and all that crap, because those fucking toys are huge spoilers. They come out months before this shit comes out, and you see all these little like Lego sets with like Hulkbuster armor or something. I know that was a big spoiler for Avengers 2 or something like that, or just like some of the villains. Like right now, for example, like the new Spider-Man movie coming out, and these Lego sets are like giving away all like these side villains that are going to be popping out. But back to Captain Marvel. It was really good. Well, not really good, just good. It was serviceable. I was expecting more. I liked how the twist, though, you're led to believe that the Skrulls, all the green, like the stereotypical green alien men, shapeshifters, were actually the good guys. And in the comics, they're like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, pretty much. These guys can take any form of any like living creature and just shapeshift into them. So they had the big comic arc as Secret Invasion, right? So this is what people thought it was going to lead up to that, but then they kind of do a little switcheroo. Skrulls are the sympathetic people, but at least in this movie. Now that's not to say, like, I think Kevin Feige, the big head honcho of Marvel there, he was saying that like, oh, well, they're just like humans. They have the capacity for both good and evil. So maybe we're just seeing a small faction of these refugee Skrulls and this intergalactic police force that Captain Marvel is a part of, or Carol Danvers is a part of. They're actually the bad guys, or just a couple dickheads. All right. But yeah, I just felt like there was something missing from it. Is it empowering? 100%. It's really cool. I'm really looking forward to see her interact, Brie Larson, Carol Danvers, her character, interact with the upcoming Avengers movie, Avengers Endgame, which looks unreal, by the way. I'm so excited for it. It's going to be pretty sweet. And it's going to be like an end of, again, I think Kevin Feige was saying that the Infinity Saga is what he's calling this. So this will wrap up and enter into a new phase of the Marvel movies, where I kind of hope they're going to break away from these origin movies. I think you can do an origin bit really quick. I get that this character isn't as huge as the other, like your Tony Starks, your Iron Man, your Spider-Man, and all that stuff. And I get you need to have some sort of description there, but or background knowledge, but still, it starts repeating itself too much. And I think, people are always talking about superhero fatigue, and I'm a big superhero fan. I have a bunch of posters and shit in my place in Yellowknife. But I'm excuse me, I'm getting tired of it a little bit. I want to cut right to the meat and potatoes. I want to see my action figures beat up other action figures and do cool shit. Yeah, and then that's obviously made all the money as well. Again, I don't have all the facts with me. I have some of the facts for the main topic, which we're going to get to. Speaking of shape-shifting and taking over identities and stuff, we're going to slide right into the feature this week, which I was super excited for. Another Jordan Peele original. Yes, that's right. The man who brought you Get Out and is 50% of the duo Key and Peele. we got Us, another horror suspense thriller movie by your boy. Now, people were kind of like, "Ooh, is this gonna be able to live up to Get Out?" Because Get Out was really good. I loved that. Not only like the movie was good, plot was good, performances are great, the direction was awesome. Can he have that much success? And does he? Absolutely. I loved Us. I have some gripes with it. I'll get to that later. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Buddy of mine here hopped on the 417, found a movie theater, got a nice matinee for it, and I really enjoyed it. Now, let's get what is Us. Well, we open with a family. It is husband, wife. I guess we don't open. Let me backtrack a little bit. You get flashbacks throughout the entire movie. So, little girl kind of separates from her family at this amusement park on the Santa Cruz boardwalk. She bumps into someone who looks exactly like her in a funhouse of mirrors, a mirror funhouse or whatever. Traumatizes her, or at least that's what we're led to believe. Traumatizes her. Didn't know what was going on. Freaks out. Now, present day. This was in 1986. Lots of fun little Easter eggs for the time. I think The Goonies is on like a VHS where you see in the TV reflection or a TV stand or something. You get Hands Across America, which is a huge. I forget what it was for specifically. It was for some sort of what's the word I'm looking for here? Charity organization where everyone links hands and it's all hunky dory. I don't know. I wasn't even born then. Christ. But that's on the TV and it's ads for that. And I forgot where I was going with this, but let's go back to the family. Flash forward. It's Adelaide. That's our main character, Adelaide. That was the young girl. She's now married to, what's his name? Gabe. These are both played by Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke. So we got Adelaide and Gabe. Husband, wife, and they have their 2 kids. Let's see. I forget their names, but I'm going to give them credit here because they're really well. And I think their kids' names are Zora. Let's see. Bear with me. Yeah, Zora and Jason. And they're played by... God. I'm using up all my data right now. It's going to be fun trying to upload this later. Bear with me, folks. You probably guys are yelling at me right now. God damn it, Chris. Have this shit ready. Well, shut up. This is my podcast. God damn it. Okay, here we go. Shahadi Wright Joseph is Zora, and then Evan Alex is Jason. So, nice little family. We meet them. They're going on a little vacation to, I guess, their summer vacation house. They're going to go to a day on the beach, and Gabe wants to show off to his new friends who are played by, I know one is Elizabeth Moss, who's, from what I hear, I haven't watched the show, but apparently Handmaid's Tale is the shit. The bee's knees. I want to get into that. But again, no Wi-Fi. I can't watch it yet. So, and then of Tim and Eric Awesome Show fame, Tim Heidecker. They play the couple's friends, and they're always trying to one up each other. It seems they have 2 daughters as well. So they go to the beach. Blah blah blah. Adelaide kind of tells Gabe that later on that she had this traumatic experience at the beach. That's why she was really hesitant. That's after they go there. Meanwhile, at the beach, Jason sees a man kind of covered in blood with a red jumpsuit. That's kind of spooky, and he has 1111 on it. So, and that's indicative. That was kind of warps back to the flashback as well. You see a guy at the beach, and he's holding up a scripture, Jeremiah 11:11, which it comes back over and over again, that scripture. And I actually it was bugging me. I really wanted to know what it was. As I was watching, I had to look it up. So I'll read it out here. See also references. All right, here we go. Let's do that. It was taking me too long. I had to pause, but you didn't know that. Let's get into it. All right. Jeremiah 11:11 reads, "Therefore thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. So that's not fucking evil at all. Jesus, it's kind of chilling, actually. That's in the Bible. It's a lot of chilling shit in the Bible, but that I read that, I'm like, that is frightening. Oh man. And I mean, it makes perfect sense to tie it in the movie. So we see that repetitive scripture reader pop up, either if it's carved on someone's forehead or on a sign or flashbacks all the time. You hear that or see it. But I like how they don't, like, it's just there. You have to kind of figure it out on your own later. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked all the time. Don't have someone to bounce off all these thoughts. I'm going all over the place. I don't do notes, so I probably should though. Show notes. Anyway, we have the family, and one night, as Adelaide is telling Gabe of her childhood trauma, boom, power goes out. Kind of spooky. What timing? That's great timing. There's a family at the end of the driveway, and it really kicks off from here. It doesn't slow down at all from here on out. This family terrorizes the Wilsons. I guess they're the Wilson family. And shit hits the fan. Like this family, they're all lined up. I think you even see it in, when they're driving, you have like, those stupid little family stickers on the back of like minivans and shit, where you have like little stick figures. Oh, there's mom, dad, and the kids and dog or whatever the fuck. And they have that. And actually the way the doppelgangers, these people, I guess, spoiler, the doppelgangers are all lined up the way that they were on the sticker on the back of the Wilson's family car. So it's kind of cool where if you were able to pick that up, because there's all sorts of these little Easter eggs, and I'm sure I've missed a handful. At least I was looking over some trivia and stuff. I missed a couple things, but I wouldn't have really got it unless I really digged for it or while I was watching it, because there's so much to already think about in this movie. It just keeps going. It's just questions. Anyway, let's get back to the house entry. Forced entry at that. This group of people, they're all wearing Birkenstocks, sandals, red jumpsuits. They have these leather gloves, and they all have a pair of shears, just giant pair of scissors. They break into the family. They start terrorizing the Wilsons, and lo and behold, guess what? They're doppelgangers. They're identical to the Wilsons. And you explain how they call themselves the Tethered. So pretty kind of like the shadow people. The Red, who is Adelaide's doppelganger, she's the only one that can speak, and it's very raspy. It's very, very off-putting the way she speaks, and awesome job by Lupita Nyong'o. She's already a phenomenal actress. She's great here. She really carries the movie, I think, personally. They're all great because, again, you're playing two different roles, and they're all creepy. They're all creepy, and the fact that they can't speak other than Red, Adelaide's doppelganger, makes it even more disturbing, because they bark, they groan, and it's kind of humorous in a way too. And I think that's what even my buddy was saying, that he was surprised with the level of humor in this. But it's Jordan Peele. Like you got to know that he's gonna sprinkle in his own flavor, his own brand. I mean, he's been known for comedy, and now guess what? He's gonna get known for horror, I think, because he's on a tear, and I'm really excited. I know he's attached to the next Twilight Zone coming out. I don't know if it's gonna be like a series or a movie or whatever it is, but I know he's attached to it. I don't know if he's gonna be directing and writing it, but I have 100% faith in this guy. So we're back in, kind of shit hits the fan. I'm not going to go right into crazy details. I'll go back into specific scenes that I liked and disliked. But from there, doppelgangers, they all split off and start attacking their own individual opposite. So Red stays with Adelaide. Gabe goes with Abraham, his doppelganger, and the kids go with their own respective ones. Jason gets locked in a closet with his doppelganger with a burnt, messed up face. And Zora, she's known for track. She's just hits the road running, and her doppelganger, I think I forget the doppelganger's name for her, but always smiling with the slick back hair. Creepy. That smile never stops, and the fact that they all have like these sunken in eyes a little bit, so off-putting. But just that's what it's for. That's you wanted a horror movie, you want a thriller movie, you want to feel super fucking uncomfortable for 2 hours. All right, well this is what you signed up for. So yeah, they go their own ways. They all have their different experiences with them. And all of a sudden, they're not the only ones being attacked. It's hitting the fan all over the place. Shit is hitting the fan everywhere. It's not just them. All these other doppelgangers are coming out of nowhere. I think the other family there, Elizabeth Moss and Tim Heidecker's family, they get attacked, murdered just ruthlessly with these shears. My question is, where are they getting this? Where are they getting this stuff? It's all perfect. Like, did they sharpen their shears before they come up? Like, they don't have any other weapons, just thousands of pairs of scissors and a red jumpsuit, sweet sandals. Where can I find some of those sweet Birks, baby? Fuck. One size fits all, I guess. Anyways, let's get into what I liked. Besides mostly all of this, there's not. Well, I was going to say the action, but like the set pieces for when they're like kind of fighting each other are really cool. I enjoyed like the dad humor from Winston Duke. He's just like a typical dad he tries to be intimidating, but he's just not, because he's a lovable, just a dad. He's a typical like dad. He's making dad jokes most of the time. Really funny. Let's see, his little fight with his doppelganger is kind of cool. Like, before I get into things that I liked here, I'm gonna get into one thing that I didn't like. So many stupid fucking choices. Why are these characters always so dumb? It's so dumb. I want just smart decisions. Not just even smart, but realistic decisions. Like the dad, for example, Winston Duke, he's just such a beta. He's such a beta. There's so many opportunities where you can just kind of like just survive a little bit better, dude. You know, you have a baseball bat, you're getting your house broken into, and like you just been assaulted. Like you got your baseball bat stolen, you got your knee like almost caved in, and then once you get the baseball bat and they start running at you again, defend yourself, dude. Man, do better. Like it's just so frustrating. Like just he does eventually, but god damn it, finish it. The teenage girl has more of a killer instinct or survival instinct than, and Adelaide gets there, but than all of them. God, it's just it's so frustrating as a viewer. Like, obviously it's fiction, but like, what would you do in that situation? Like, if I'm being assaulted, I'm going to defend myself. Or you know, your family. There's 4 of them. There's 4 intruders. You don't know. Anyway, that really pissed me off. And there's a couple instances throughout the movie where it's just, they don't, you know, and you see in Zombieland, what's an important rule? The double tap. Go back and finish the business. Shit. I don't even care. Fucking break their kneecaps in. Do something. Just survive better. Survive better. Maybe you'd still have a knee. I don't know. That was my main bugaboo that was just pissing me off. I'm tired of that. I want realistic characters. Give me a character or a group of characters that are like the stoner fella from Cabin in the Woods, who's just always calling out the bullshit in the scenarios and just like, what? Wait, what? No, this is stupid. I want that. We can't have everything though. Now that was the main thing I didn't like, but that's just me. Moving forward now. What I did like, performances, phenomenal performances. As I mentioned earlier, Lupita Nyong'o, definitely the highlight of the film, I think, for sure. What else we got here? The direction. Jordan Peele knocks it out of the park again. His direction is awesome. The way, just the way he shoots his angles, his shots, where people are right in the middle of the screen and they follow them, like super close-ups. Eyes, you get obviously a lot of reflection being associated here, like seeing the doubles, right? You get a house of mirrors, just little things like that. Or even like when Adelaide is getting her head shoved down against the coffee table again, you see her reflection off of that with her doppelganger like forcing her head down. So you get a lot of that. It's just shot really well, and the movements of the characters awesome. Like the little Pluto, just super. Like he's wearing a gimp mask for Christ's sake. He's probably like 9, 10 years old, and he's wearing a gimp mask. Like it's just fucking it's disturbing. And what helps with this this whole atmosphere that are going with these shots and the way he's filming it, the music being used in here, really really good use of music. Like the trailer, I got 5 on it, super eerie. They kind of slow it down, like I got 5 on it, like that song. And they play it a couple times here with like differing. You have the real one, they have a slowed down, more eerie version. You get like a lot of string background music to set the mood. It's like a lot of like plucky strings, and they all don't really go together, so it makes it feel, it adds to kind of like I can't speak, god damn it, the disjointed movements of the characters. So you're getting all of this at once that just builds up the whole feeling of just uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. I was on the edge of my seat for a lot of it. So that's awesome. I really credit Jordan Peele for that. Phenomenal job directing. Can't wait to see what he does next moving forward. Another one last thing I gotta mention here. I really enjoy. He does really well at Jordan Peele. Jordan, as if I know him on a first name basis. Yeah, my buddy Jordan. You may know him. He's a famous director. No, Jordan Peele. He's really good at showing you. He's developing the story with the audience. He's taking his time. This movie's 2 hours. I think 2 hours, just under 2 hours, just over 2 hours. He is taking his time. It felt long. It was long at points. But that's because I want answers. But he's showing you answers, not telling you answers. He kind of gets that at the end where Red and Adelaide have the final little showdown. And it's a brutal little showdown, by the way. A lot of stabby action. So if you don't like people getting murked with knives or shears, yeah, you might feel a little more, just kind of shake it off a little bit. You get that little chill down your spine. But he's really good at just kind of developing those answers. But if you really need to know absolutely everything there is to know about this plot at the end of the movie, well, guess what? Tough shit. You're not getting it. You're not getting it. You're going to have so many questions that are left unanswered. And guess what? It's going to be fucking frustrating because I want to know. Again, guys, how many times have I gone over this on this podcast, just ad nauseum at this point, where I'm like, I want to know, but don't you fucking tell me. I like the mystery, but shit, I want to know. But I'm glad I'm glad I have more questions, because that just makes it even more disturbing. It makes the impact of the film, the horror element of it, last longer because you don't know. And guess what? Not having knowledge scares the shit out of people, because you're just left without a paddle. You're left without a paddle. You got no life preserver. You're Foxville. But I like that. Some people are really outraged that I don't get it. Well, guess what? You're stupid. You're really not kind of supposed to get it. Yes, it's there. You can take this, like, there's all sorts of deep meanings. This movie is a giant metaphor. It's literally us versus them, essentially. It's the fear of the other, the xenophobic other. I guess not. I guess the other wouldn't be xenophobic, but society as a general, class versus like upper class, lower class, middle class. You have levels in society, and this one, they literally have these people below ground, like subterranean. So they're obviously beneath us, right? At least that's the whole metaphor of it. That's what I got out of it. The whole Get Out was more of a racial message, obviously. This one, sure, there can be definitely intonations of, race being that, but I think it's mainly class. And again, it's up to your interpretation. Like, you can go 1,000 different ways. I'm not going to get into that too much, because guess what? I'm not a film major. This is armchair reviews for a reason. But that's what class versus class, literally, and then the whole just kind of yourself, the fight against yourself, your inner battle, kind of. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making this shit up. Very well might be. Who knows? But yeah, there's so many questions. And like the whole rabbit thing, I guess they're eating raw meat, and rabbits just, there's always making new rabbits, if you know what I mean. So I guess that's their food. Let's get into the tethered, though. I'm going to get into the tethered right now. Just give a little more information. We're led to believe, and this is where they where I wasn't too much of a fan of, where Red is talking to Adelaide again at the final showdown, and she says, "Oh, we're a failed government experiment. We were sent to, or made to, take over the people in the above world and to control society a little bit." So the opening, you see like, oh, there's thousands of miles of underground tunnels and blah 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 blah. So that's where these people live, underground. Just miles and miles of endless hallways, and I guess they're eating rabbit for food, and I guess it's described that they don't have a soul. They're missing. They're everything, like perfectly like clones. Essentially, they don't go into how they're made. Again, it's just a government experiment that fucked off, and the government just took off. They just like, all right, well, this didn't work. Let's just leave all these clones in a basement unattended and leave them to their own devices. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Someone dropped the ball on that one because a lot of people died because of that. Shit. But yeah, they're soulless, and they're mirrored reflections. So really, before Red kind of makes this whole uprising, you kind of see little glimpses of how she grew up in this underground living environment where everyone is just mimicking their above ground doppelganger. Their actual person they're cloned off of. They're mimicking their actions. And again, it's a scene they cut it with the flashback of the mom and dad of Adelaide, who, by the way, I'll mention this right now, played by Anna Diep, who is on the new DC Titans show. She plays Starfire, I think it is. And then also the dad of Adelaide, he plays Black Manta in the Aquaman movie. So you get two DC universe actors coming in to play mom and dad there. It's kind of a nice little fun fact for you guys. What is that gentleman's name, by the way? Here it is. Okay, so Yahya Abdul Mateen the second, or junior. I guess it's just the second. He's going by the second, so we'll call him the second. Yeah. Cool. So that's nice. He's, again, small roles, but you see them walking up top, like the actual versions of them at the carnival or the boardwalk, the Santa Cruz boardwalk, and kind of like shimmying and kind of dancing with the music. And then it cuts down to the underground version, like the clone, and they're kind of shimmying too, but there's no context, or there is context, but there's no background music. They're just kind of like shuffling. It just seems weird when they're just in a blank hallway. It's really unsettling. And like even the people that, it cuts to people on the roller coaster. You see people on a roller coaster, and then their doppelgangers are like stuffed into this classroom type thing, and they're reacting or shaking as if they're on a roller coaster, but they're just standing. Really kind of creepy to look at. But again, no one's speaking. They don't speak. They just grunt and shit. But Red can. She's the only one. Oh, they have their showdown. That's really cool. Blah, blah, blah. Then you see how it's affecting everyone else. Like, it's not just, as I said, it's not just a home invasion movie. It expands elsewhere. And this is where you can have a sequel if you want. But again, I think you can just have this as a standalone. I don't know if this is going to be, I think there's rumblings that maybe this might be linked to the Get Out movie as well, that it's all same universe type thing. I don't think you need to do that though. Like, you really stop trying to make universes happen, like movie universes happen. If it happens, cool, but just have one off. You can just have a one off. I like the questions here, guys. I don't need a follow up to keep going. Like, again, yes, it'd be fine, but I feel sometimes when you have the sequels, it ruins the impact of the original. This original will have a better impact if you don't have a sequel, in my humble opinion. But you see them, they're all doing Hands Across America. So you start thinking, okay, well, this is kind of an outdated thing. Oh, that's from 1986. What's going on here? You can kind of start as a viewer if you're actively paying attention to this movie. The wheels in your head are already turning, and there's a twist here. There's a big twist. For me, I kind of could see it coming from a mile away. Like you don't need to be paying that much attention, to be honest with you. But the twist wasn't all that twisty. It led to believe that it was Adelaide and Red, fighting each other, and Adelaide's the mom. But whoopsie daisies. The flashback expands at the end of the movie, right at the end. It was like I see dead people. The whole twist. Oh, shit. Adelaide is Red. Red is Adelaide. What? You mean she's from the underground? Adelaide is actually Red? Oh, fuck yeah, dude. You go to the flashback again when OG Adelaide goes in that house of mirrors. Red chokes that motherfucker out. She chokes her out, brings her downstairs, drags her to the underground facility, cuffs her to her bed, takes her Michael Jackson Thriller t-shirt, puts it on, boom, takes her place. And it goes back into that whole therapy session where the parents, they're like, I just want my little girl back. Legit. She's not just saying that. Like, oh, she's traumatized, she's left. No, like it's almost like she knows. Like, it's kind of funny the way it's worded. Like, I want my little girl back. Like, it's not her daughter. It really isn't. And you just thought like she was traumatized, but no. It's an entirely different person. So this person is in a shell. She starts learning the language. She has all the things that Adelaide had, and now she's learning to. She obviously learned how to just be a human or act like a human. And then on the same version, the real Adelaide, or who we're led to believe is Red, she devolves. She's the only one that can speak because she could speak beforehand, before she got kidnapped or whatever, or the little switcheroo. That's why she can speak. So there's little clues that, like, why is she so special? She had the first interaction with the clone. So again, little bits and pieces here that you can definitely kind of figure out and not be too surprised when it happens, but makes perfect sense. And then also her like demonstration where, of course, like that was the last thing she saw was Hands Across America was on that TV. So what is everyone doing? They're doing Hands Across America. And literally, they are tethered together. They're holding hands. Like, it's kind of just in your face a little bit like that. You get the whole symbology of like when Red / Adelaide cuts the paper chain of stick figures, finally untethered. Anyway, I won't get. There's so many things. Like I was initially going to do this I was going to do this podcast right after watching the movie, but I had everything set up here, and then my computer decided to update and took 14 hours to finish or whatever the hell. So I just left it. Didn't take that long. I just didn't have the patience to wait for an update. But I'm glad because now I have time to, like, I'm thinking about it. I'm digesting everything. There's going to be so many things that you can pick apart from this movie and realize and come back to and be like, oh, wait, but does it mean this? Does it mean that? Us, them? Am I a doppelganger? I don't even know. Questions. And I'm sure, like, if you have any questions, like, what are your questions? I want to know your questions. Email the show, ohmygodinaudio@gmail.com. OHMYGODIN audio@gmail.com. I want to know your questions. Seriously. Because I got plenty, and they're just going to keep coming. They're just going to keep coming. And I'm going to see it again, not probably in theaters. I'm going to wait till it comes back out for rent or digital download or whatever the hell. I want to see it again because there's going to be, now that I've seen the full thing, I want to go back and like pick apart all these little Easter eggs. Like you get a lot of Goonies references where you got a lot of underground action in that movie. You get Chud. I think it's a cannibalistic humanoid underground something. another older movie reference that they have in there. But I think that'll be good for that. Now, kind of just a little bit change of direction here. You see a lot of the influences that Jordan Peele brings to the table for this. You get a lot of, obviously, your home invasion movies. I got mixed in with some other stuff, obviously, because of how wacky and kind of outlandish it gets. But, I was thinking of The Strangers. I think that came out in 2008. Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. That movie was super creepy, and it just ends. It just ends, and there's no point. Like the whole why are you doing this? Well, you were home. So you get that home invasion, that really claustrophobic. You're stuck in your own house, being hunted down in your own house. That the fact of you feel like someone's watching you or in your own living space. It's a violation. It is a violation of you, of your space, of everything. That's what's kind of so uncomfortable with those movies and watching them, because it is that's the best word I can describe it as, a violation. So you get that. Another one that I really like this movie. It's there's an original, I think, that came out in 97, and then the remake was done by the same director. Funny Games. I think it was originally a Swedish film. I think I saw the original, and then I also saw the remake. The remake has Tim Roth, Michael Pitt, and Naomi Watts. Really good. Kind of just fucked up again. Another home invasion where it's just ultra violence for the sake of ultra violence. Why not? Again, I'd really recommend that. Either one. They're both equally disturbing. But I like Michael Pitt's performance in the remake quite a bit. I find him to be a pretty good actor. So, again, Sixth Sense, the whole twisty McGee at the end there, you get a lot of that. And even The Shining, as I was saying, the family friends, they have 2 daughters, right? You can get a whole lot of imagery associated with the twins from The Shining, how they're kind of just always together, even when they're murdered. And then when they're laying on the ground, it's very reminiscent of how those twins in the flashbacks of The Shining, how their bodies are kind of positioned in the death scenes and stuff. So you get that, and even kind of making fun of Jason for playing. Instead of do you want to play with us from The Shining, is they're kind of mocking him for playing in the sand or whatever. So you see those things if you're into a lot of horror stuff. I think there's a couple other things that Jordan Peele had said in an interview where he got his motivations, or his inspiration, I should say. But those ones, for me, I can easily see all of that, and then the accumulation together to bring this movie. And just shout outs too. You get Michael Jackson Thriller, for Christ's sake. All these little tidbits all across. That's what I want. I think there's a good amount of rewatchability here, just so that you can pick up on all these little things. I find that really fun for me too, especially when this movie, because you're just thinking and thinking and thinking. You're what did I just watch? I feel it's important to kind of go over it again now that you've had time to digest and see what you can pick up. So that being said, this movie crushed it at the box office, North American box office. I think it had over 70 million in domestically, United States and Canada. That's insane for a horror movie. I think even today is the 24th of March, it came out that this is the highest grossing original horror movie of all time for a single weekend debut. That's massive. It beat out A Quiet Place. That's unreal. A Quiet Place was dope. That movie's sick. Really good movie. I mean, we did an episode on it, for Christ's sake. Awesome. Good movie. This one beat it. So people are paying attention to this Mr. Peele, and for good reason. So yes, it's successful. I'm kind of sick of this whole bullshit where it's best horror movie. People shit on horror movies, and rightfully so. I love horror movies, but most of the time they're dog shit. Let's be serious. It's a fun genre, but I feel like when you have good ones like this, you have Get Out, you have Us, that have, actual messages, they kind of get like pigeonholed. I was like, oh, it's good for a horror film. No, fuck you. It's a good movie. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie. It shouldn't just come with an asterisk. And I feel like that a lot of people do that. Oh, it's good for a comedy. It's good for a drama. It's good for a horror. Piss off. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. And they should be recognized for it. They really should. It's getting better. Like, I mean, I don't really like awards fucking bullshit anyway, but if it's good, it's good. All right. That being said, I think that just about covers us. I think so. I think I'm just going to wrap it up anyway here. Again, the next podcast I do, I'm probably going to have more thoughts to go over this, and maybe I can get my buddy that came to see it with me. Maybe he has some other things to mention as well. So where can you find us, guys? Where can you find this episode? Where can you find the other episodes of Armchair Reviews? Well, you can find them everywhere. You got iTunes, Spotify, used to be SoundCloud. I don't know if we still upload there anymore, but Google Play, big one. I like my Google Play for my podcasts. Stitcher, all that good stuff. You can just Google us. Google me, Armchair Reviews podcast. Put podcast again. Armchair Reviews podcast into the Google search. You'll see us. All the episodes are there. Boom. Email the show, as I said, ohmygodaudio@gmail.com. I'm on Twitter. I'm posting a couple more things here and there, but the show is at Armchair POD. I'm at Christoph Godden on the Twitter sphere. My personal Instagram is at Christopher Gods, as well as the Armchair Reviews Instagram page is just at Armchair Reviews. Simple enough. Am I right? Yes, of course. All right, guys. I think that's it, though. Next week, I don't know what's coming out, but I know Shazam should be coming out soon. Another kind of superhero origin, so we'll see. We got pretty much two different types of Captain Marvels in the same year. So we'll see how this one does in the DC universe, if it's going to shit the bed or if it's going to be a fun time. I just don't know when that's coming out. So I'll try to be doing this every week again, though, guys. I'll have access to a real theater. Yes, a real theater, not just the Yellowknife Theater with 3 screens. So I'll have some time too for the other bigger movies that are coming out for the next few months here. Keep you guys posted with new stuff, and thanks again as always for listening. Until next time, friends, thank you so much. Catch you later.